Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we got a bunch of new content. We're going to go over in this video the new fantasy cards as they will pertain a lot to what's going to happen in the next few weeks as the NHL season is about to kick off and get back underway. We're going to take a look at these cards and see if there's any that are worth picking up. Maybe there's some that could actually be usable and that might have decent value if you were able to pack them. And yeah, there is one interesting one that is returning from last year that'll be fun to talk about. So let's get into today's content. We'll go over the new All-Star cards for January 11th. Alright guys, so we'll kick things off with the 74 overall EVGENI Malkin with Swarm and Wingman. Now, honestly, the synergies make this card half decent just in the future. But the problem is that Malkin's going to have to score a ton of goals, just like the Jack Eichel card as well. So let's play this out. He's going to have to score 10 goals, and if he does that, he'll have 84 speed before distributor. That's 87. 10 goals in a 56-game season, like that could be in 6 weeks. I think that you have to take that into account. Even his shot, adding 10... 87 for the shot power. It's just not going to be usable, really, even with other team-based synergies. You can have this card and hold them for the end of the year, that potentially becomes like a 95 and above, but, it's still going to cost you top dollar now to actually acquire him. So, awfully tough to use this one. Then we've got the 79 overall Philip Cheadle from the Rangers with Heart and Soul, which is obviously pretty useless for you, but he does come with Howitzer, which does make him usable now, to be honest with you. Body checking and defensively, he's absolutely a mess, but he has enough speed and like a shot that you could hide him on your fourth line probably. And then again, these cards are awesome to have on your team because every single night they play, it adds intrigue and, gets you involved in the games that you might not normally watch. And this card has a little bit of promise, as Cheadle was one of the higher-rated rookies, in the last few years. So he could pop off with a few goals early on, but at 87 speed already, he is kind of usable. And if he scores about, 5 goals, his shot becomes half decent as well. So this is actually an obtainable card that you could use, on your fourth line, no matter what your team is. Then we've got the 80 overall UC SAROS, and this one's a hard pass. Again, he is going to split the net with Rene pretty regularly, and with Barrage and Spark, well, by the time that he's usable, Barrage might be half decent. Just because after the first 3 team-based synergies, then you want to go over and use Barrage, but not really any point because you're not going to use him in net. Under 6 foot is still too small. You want to be around that 6'2", 6'3" range, and yeah, just not going to benefit enough from this card, so this one would be an insta-sell for me. Then we've got the real deal, James Neal. Last year, he was this event's absolute stud as he popped off for 12 goals in his first 8 games. And obviously, at the start of the season, if you were to get these cards on day 1 of launch or early on before the regular season, you're able to actually use these cards on your team. That's the issue here, is that now because we're midway through the year, it's very difficult to use these cards on your team. Does come with distributor, so he has 83 speed, but again, because of the 0.5 speed increase, it's going to take him 10 goals before he gets up to 80, 88. Can he do it again? Maybe. His shot is okay. This card would, again, need Speedster or Howitzer, though, for me to be real interested. It's not awful. There's worse, but, again, he would have to, recreate lightning in a bottle as he fell off hard last season. Then we've got the 80 Connor Brown, 6 foot, and again, this is just, if you're going to get one of these cards, you have to be able to use them, and without a speed synergy, you're just not really going to be able to, even if he does get up to a 95. He scores 15 goals, his shot will be nice, but again, speed's just going to be a little too low, so this one is a pass with Balance and Magician, just not a good enough combo. Then we've got the 81 Jake VIRTANEN. This card's actually pretty interesting. With Spark and Workhorse, he's already got 90 acceleration. You add Distributor, and he's at 88 speed. Again, for a stacked team, if you were able to put him on your fourth line, it's not going to kill you right now, and you'll be able to get a fantasy card that you could use. The problem is he's going to cost an absolute truckload. We'll take a look right now if there's any up in the auction house, and there isn't. He's going to cost a couple 100,000 coins, in my opinion. And again, if you're hut rich, maybe. This one is passable if you have Workhorse, Spark, and Distributor activated. Dylan Strome from the Chicago Blackhawks, he is going to get a chance to absolutely blow up because there's just no one else there, especially at the center position. Wingman, again, not a bad synergy for sure, but Balance, not one you're going to look to activate. Distributor will get it up to 83 speed, but his faceoffs are only 71. just not going to be quick enough down the wings. Awfully tough to use, and again, he would have to blow up pretty quickly. Again, if you start at 80 speed with no speed-based synergy, 15 goals, you're still at 87 speed. So pass for me on this one. Then we've got my man Little Joe, as Joe Pavelski, the 82 overall, with Distributor and Thief, which makes it a little bit interesting just because, he gets his faceoffs up to 82, which is pretty bad still, but again, if he scores a couple goals, he already comes with 87 speed with Distributor, so he has the synergy to help you out. His speed and shot are actually halfway decent. This could be a card that you could use. There's no, there's no harm in going after this one because I have a feeling he's going to probably pot about 15 goals this year, and that's going to give you return you some nice value here. And again, he is a card that you could sneak into your lineup right now, and that's what you're looking for in this event, as there's none up right now, because you want to be able to use these cards and not just have them sit in your collection until the end of the year to try and make money off them. Then we've got the 83 Vince Dunn, 6 foot with swarm and passing playmaker. And again, from the back end, 85 speed is pretty tough. With Distributor up, that's 88, but only 6 foot and only 82 body checking. He's not going to do enough for you in the defensive zone. His shot not good enough, and again, defensemen just don't score a lot. So it's awfully tough for defensemen with no speed-based synergy. So this one's a pass for me. Then we've got Ryan Pulock, and again, same situation, 6'2". He's got great size in his own zone, but with only 82 speed and no speed synergies, is there a realm in which he's going to score 10 goals? And even so, then you're at 87. By that time, 95s and plus will be out, and he's just not going to be the card that you're looking for. If these cards weren't costing a couple 100,000 coins to get, it would make it a lot easier, but it's just awfully tough. There's about 4 or 5 or even 6 other options I'd rather choose before this one. And we've got the 83 Justin Schultz, and this one's actually pretty interesting. A right defenseman, 6'2", so he's big enough. Low body checking, but again, the size should help with that. He's got speedster, so 89 speed before Distributor, 92 with it, and he's got a shot that's usable. This is probably the best offensive card that you can get in this release. And again, none up right now in the auction house, but I would watch out for it because there is potential. He scores a couple goals, and this is a half-decent right-handed defenseman that you can use for quite some time and allow you to be involved in the event. And then finally, we've got the 84 Alex Pietrangelo from the Vegas Golden Knights. Again, same situation as Brent Burns. Just too slow off the start. He could get a bunch of goals, but it still won't matter because he's just going to be too slow to make any use of it. With no speed-based synergy, just an awfully tough situation here. But yeah, this one would be a pass if I packed him. I would sell them immediately. All right, guys, so obviously not a ton in this event. This event is very difficult. EA had to try and make them somewhat usable, but not overpowered. So, again, I don't envy the position with this event. It's still my favorite event every year now, as, again, it allows a ton of interaction with the actual NHL, which is awesome anytime that happens. But let me know what you think in the comments section down below. And please subscribe for daily NHL content. I'll see you next time.